heart is really full right now because this current administration has made it impossible for nonprofits to get funding if you use certain terms that are deemed DEI. And well, I'm black, we're black, we're disabled, female, so there's some words that we can't use to apply for certain fundings. So I would ask, kind of twofold, what advice would you have for nonprofits in the same type of situation that's seeking funding? And then the other part is, as you are part of this finance department, to keep in the forefront, if you can, that there are a lot of people who rely on medications that come from overseas, that if those things are taxed, they really will not be able to afford it, and it is seriously a matter of life and death.
Yeah. So on the last thing that you just said, the issue around tariffs, Congress needs to seize its power. That is within our domain. And what you are witnessing is people who are literally giving their power away. We could stop the tariffs issue and the president's reckless way in which he's carrying out these tariffs. The Congress could stop this tomorrow. I need you to understand that so you will know who to hold accountable. We could literally stop this tomorrow if some folk would recognize that they don't work for a king, they work for the American people. We could solve it tomorrow. We could. So I just want you to know that. So because I'm talking to people, and Democrats and Republicans are frustrated by this. This isn't partisanship. This is math. The math ain't mathing. And on this, Wall Street and Main Street agree. So I'm taking the time to say that to you so you'll know who to hold accountable. Maybe you live in this blue district and I and, your congresswoman represent you, but you got friends in red districts and folks are watching me, they're from other districts. And in as much as I'm seeing that people don't like this, you need to hold your congress member accountable for this. We could stop it tomorrow. We could. I think I've answered your question. Let me say to you on this other issue about your not-for-profit. I don't want to forget and lose sight of that. My team is very effective at trying to get congressionally directed spending, earmarks. And we've walked with and worked with a number of our entities in Georgia, schools, municipalities, others, who are trying to navigate the system. And I take direct interest in trying to get some of those through. So if you're talking about specific federal funds, I want you to reach out to my office. I want one of my staff members to get her name and number, and let me see how we can help. I heard your larger point on DEI. Our country is great, not in spite of its diversity, but because of it, and we have to stand up for it. And we have to stand up for one another. I think some people were surprised to discover that they too were DEI. So we better stand up for one another. We better stand up for one another. And I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. Don't preach to me and lecture me about merit and a meritocracy while I witness you nominate the most unfit, most unqualified people we've ever seen. You're clearly not serious. You cannot lecture me about merit while nominating Pete Hegseth and Robert Kennedy. Cannot. So, here's the thing. I want America to win. I love this country. I do. I wanted to win. I love this country the same way you love your family. All families have a complicated story. And that story is always more complicated than the one we tell ourselves at the family reunion. The American family story is complicated, and I know and I carry in my veins the brutal side of that. But I want America to win. My daddy had to give up his seat while wearing his soldier's uniform. Fighting for America, had to give up his bus seat. He had to give up his bus seat, but because we kept fighting for America, his son sits in a Senate seat. So I love America, but we can't allow people to distract us with all of this nonsense. And by the way, I don't care what you call it. Do away with something you want to call DEI. I don't care what you call it. I just want every child to have a chance. Kids who are growing up in public housing, kids who are growing up in Appalachia, kids who are growing up in rural Georgia, kids who are growing up, in concrete cities. Because that's the only way we're going to win, is if all of our children have a chance. That's the only way we're going to be able to defend American interests amidst the geopolitical adversaries we have, like China. The only way we're going to win is we're going to have to be able to tap into the talent that we have on all sides of the track.